Hello again, YouTube. I hope you're all doing well today. So we're going to be continuing with the Archon quest here in Sumeru, and we needed to head into Sumeru City itself to get more clues as to whether or not we're able to meet with Lesser Lord Kusanali at any point. So we've got a lead there, and we'll see where it takes us. I'm going to apologise in advance. We've had to bring Lumine out of the abyss again, so I'm sorry for the lack of continuity with the previous episode that I did. We'll be back to Ether soon. TM. Once I've caught up here, we'll be a-okay. So it's probably going to be a couple of episodes with Lumine featuring. So I do appreciate her popping out and giving us the time of day, despite being in the abyss constantly. So without further ado, let's just get on and play some more of this quest line. Here we go. We are almost at the city. I really like this. It's so lush and green, isn't it? But it's very pretty. So let's see what happens. Thank you again, Lumine, for offering your assistance once more.
Sumeru City! We finally made it!
I appreciate it. I am not going to be a silly Billy in the future.
Oh, did you see that? When those people entered the city, something on their heads lit up.
Yep, it is their Bluetooth.
One moment, please, you two. It appears this is your first time visiting Sumeru City.
It is indeed, sir. Hello.
Oh, yeah, that's right. But how did you know that?
Because they know everything.
Because there's currently no information on either of you in the Akasha. But no need to worry, that won't prevent you from entering the city. In fact, the Academia conveniently provides each traveler to Sumeru City with a device.
See, I do find this kind of creepy. Am I the only one who thinks that? It is creepy.
Perhaps you two have heard of the Akasha before. It's our beloved Greater Lord Rukkhadevata's lasting legacy, a treasure trove of collected knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
After centuries of tireless research on the Akasha, the Academia created one of its most ingenious inventions, the Akasha Terminal.
So they can just access anything through this terminal. Look up people, knowledge, but it's all controlled by the state, from what I understood.
As long as you are within Sumeru's borders, you may use an Akasha Terminal to connect directly to the Akasha and access any knowledge you need.
Which is kind of nice, I guess, like being able to have all of that knowledge at your fingertips. It's just the fact that it's restricted.
I should mention
I think
that
that's
due to
kind of
technical
awkward.
limitations, the operation of Akasha terminals will be much smoother and more effective in large cities such as Sumeru City and Port Ormos.
It's always the countryside that gets screwed over. Someone who lives in the countryside, it's always the cities that get all of the technological stuff.
Oh, so this is the thing that Tainari was telling us about.
It was, yeah.
It sounds pretty amazing.
Sounds pretty creepy, Paimon, but yeah.
You two are quite fortunate. Until recently, it was standard practice to only issue Akasha terminals to outlanders who spent an extended amount of time in Sumeru. However, this policy was recently changed, and now all travelers are issued one upon arrival.
I don't think that's much better, really. I understand it's like if they're going to be spending a fair bit of time in Sumeru, you'll get knowledge on them, and fair enough. But if everyone's coming in and now you're just getting knowledge about these people, I don't know, no. Maybe I'm too tinfoil hatty for this, I don't know. I will do. Thank you very much for trusting me, sir. I appreciate it.
It kinda looks like a leaf.
Yep, Paimon. It
To
does.
activate it, simply hold it in your hand and say the following phrase to yourself. May the mighty God bless us with their voice of wisdom.
Okay.
Oh, says this little doodad lets you access knowledge. Maybe we can use it to find a way to meet Lesser Lord Kusanali. Let's give it a try.
Paimon, again, shouting about our sort of intentions in front of these people that we don't know. But yeah, go ahead, Paimon. Just keep shouting. It's okay.
May the mighty God bless us with their voice of wisdom.
May the mighty God bless us with their voice of wisdom. Ah. Oh, and Paimon's got one as well. That's super cute.
Whoa. Just now, something clicked, and Paimon suddenly knew how to use this thing. It seems all we need to do is concentrate on what we want to know, and bam! You get it. Oh, that'll come in real handy.
That is so creepy. I have got my tinfoil hat on, but I do think that's creepy.
Exactly.
It's very sci-fi.
That is the power of the Akasha.
I think that's kind of cool, but it's also, it is creepy. Because you could just look at anyone and then find out everything you need to know about these people. No.
And with that, let me
I don't
officially
agree personally.
welcome you both to Sumeru City.
Thank you very much.
May the wisdom of the Dendro Archon always be your guide.
Thank you very much.
Okay, now that we're in, we can check the Akasha about Lesser Lord Kusanali. Let Paimon try.
I don't know if we're going to have this, Paimon, but you can try. I do quite like a little terminal, though. It does look cute.
Ago, the sages found a newly born deity from within some scorched ruins.
Okay.
The deity now resides in the sanctuary of Suristana.
Right.
Seems pretty similar to what Kali was telling us.
It was indeed, yeah.
Okay, next, let's concentrate on asking how to meet her. Paimon doesn't sense anything. The Akasha didn't respond to Paimon's question.
Huh, the same happened to me. I wonder why that could be. They're not exactly wanting everyone to just wander up to the god of this particular area and anyone just having access to her. That'd be just a bit weird.
Oh, come on!
Only the trusted people.
On this question feels like when you have something you're trying to remember and it's on the tip of your tongue, but you just can't think of it.
That is frustrating. That is very frustrating.
Ugh,
I've been there, Paimon.
Paimon's brain is exhausted.
I'll try asking the Akasha something else. Maybe I'll indirectly find more information about Kusanali.
Oh, smart idea. But what are you going to ask it?
Don't know, I haven't decided that yet, Paimon, but... Think, why doesn't the Akasha answer my question? Think Lesser Lord Kusanali... No, Greater Lord Rukadavata. Many bright dots of light appeared in my mind. I probably need to calm my mind and focus more to understand what they mean. Feelings of affection, intimacy, nostalgia, sadness, and anxiety also come to my mind. These seem to be what the people of Sumeru feel about their departed Archon. That's a lot of emotions.
Uh-oh. Paimon's getting all teary-eyed all of a sudden. It feels like the people of Sumeru really miss their Archon.
Oh, Paimon, don't cry. It's okay. Think, why... Think Lesser Lord Kusanali. Let's see that. Some knowledge began to trickle into my mind for a moment, but there wasn't really anything that I didn't already know. Well, at least those kids in the background are having a great time.
You too? Well, glad it's not just Paimon.
No, it's not just you. Why doesn't the Akasha answer my question? A vague thought suddenly comes to mind. The Akasha doesn't unconditionally respond to every query. Also, even if the same query is requested by multiple people, the Akasha still imparts knowledge based on each person's identity, age, experiences, and other demographics. See, that is what's creepy. That is creepy. It's like the state controlling what you can know.
Huh.
No, it's alright, thanks.
Could it be because we're Outlanders and we've only just arrived in Sumeru? You know, maybe we're not qualified.
I would
to
also
receive
assume
an
that to be
answer
the case.
This sort of question or something.
Yes. They're not just going to be like, you know what, you're foreign here, but know all of our secrets about our realm. Please, just take all the knowledge and then you could sell it on to, like, shady people. That's not going to happen.
Well, seems no matter which way we try, we can't find anything that'll lead us to Lesser Lord Kusanali. Guess our only choice now is to try meeting with the researcher that Tainari recommended.
I think so.
He's from Sumeru and even has a position in the academia. Maybe he'll be able to access more info from the Akasha.
Maybe, but maybe not. Depends. We'll have a look, though.
Let's see. Tainari wrote
Achievement.
an address on the letter's envelope.
Oh, he's up here.
It's not far from the city's gate.
Fariha.
Let's
Aw.
head over and have a look.
Oops, sorry, Paimon. I was too eager.
Are you Rohawi?
He is.
Yes, that's me. Can I help you?
Yes, you can, sir. Please.
You see, Tainari sent us here and...
What? Tainari?
Yep.
Please, there's no need to say anything, really. Sure, I admit that the article I published last month wasn't my best work, and maybe the data didn't produce the most convincing results, but...
I think you misunderstood us. We're not here to discuss academics. He's very nervous. Are you nervous about Tignari?
Here, this is a letter from Tainari.
I like her.
Oh, let me see.
You're not in trouble yet.
Ah,
Don't worry.
ooh, what a relief. You two nearly scared the life out of me. So you two just have some questions for me?
We certainly do.
Seems even Tainari acknowledges my innate ability for procuring information. So, what is it you two would like to know?
We want to meet with Lesser Lord Kusanali.
Just a small favor,
Do you know
please.
a way we can do that?
It's nothing much.
You mean you want to meet the Dendro Archon herself?
Yep.
This isn't exactly my area of expertise, but let me see what I can find in the Akasha.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry, the Akasha didn't respond to my query.
So that makes 3 of us now that has no access to this knowledge.
What? You too? But what about your abilities for getting information and all that? Paimon was sure you'd be able to access more info than we did.
Lumine is done. Look at her face. She's like, "Aw, dude. Not what I had in mind."
Well, as I said, this isn't my area of expertise. I am but a lowly researcher, so the Akasha doesn't see a need for me to know more about the Dendro Archon. All I know
Okay.
is that ever since Lesser Lord Kusanali returned to Sumeru, she's never left the sanctuary of Sorasthana or made a public appearance.
Right. I wonder why that is. But obviously, we're not allowed to know because the state says no. Computer says no.
Didn't expect her to be such a mysterious figure.
Well,
The Dendro Archon is somewhat of a recluse. Perhaps she just doesn't want to entertain visitors, which would explain the lack of information in the Akasha.
she's also young, so... yeah. She might be more open to manipulation, you know, as like a younger god. Yeah, hopefully you know where I'm coming from with that.
But then what can we do?
Pray and hope we find her.
No need to worry just yet. I'm only hypothesizing here. You could certainly try asking around and see if anyone else has ideas.
Okay. Any
And besides,
suggestions?
You two should consider the bright side of things. Not being able to see Lesser Lord Kusanali may not be a bad thing.
But she's essential to our quest,
In
my
this
man.
world, there will always be information you cannot obtain from the Akasha and things you can never accomplish. Knowing when to yield is a form of wisdom. Take me, for example. It's a miracle if my brain cells can spit out one paper every 3 years. But Tainari? That guy can publish 3 papers in just a single year.
Ooh, so he's a smart fox boy.
Okay. Thanks for your advice.
Paimon's like, nah, man.
Don't mention it. If you two ever want information about things like who's been promoted within the academia or relations between the 6 great sages, come find me.
So by area of expertise, you meant this kind of stuff?
Hey, come on. This is a survival skill at the academia.
Okay. Well, thank you anyway, man. I
My
appreciate you
expectations
taking the
were
time.
pretty low, but this is so low, it's like digging holes in the dirt.
Okay.
Ugh.
I mean, we could have said this when we weren't standing in front of this man again.
So what do we do now? Even if we want to talk to someone, we don't know anybody here.
There's still one other person we know.
Huh? Like who?
Ad Astra Abyssosque.
Oh, you're right!
Catherine!
The Adventurers Guild has its own
Mhm.
intel network. Let's hurry and find her.
Maybe she will have the answers we need. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it.
Ad Astra Abyssosque.
Mhm.
How Hello, Traveler and Paimon.
Hello, Catherine.
Catherine, we need your help with something.
We do. We're desperate.
Understood. The Adventurers Guild is always ready to serve you.
Thank
With
you.
what do you require assistance?
We want to see the Lesser Lord Kusanali,
We
please.
want to meet with Lesser Lord
The Lesser
Kusanali.
Lord, oh god.
Do you know a way we can do that?
Yes.
You two wish to meet with Sumeru's Archon.
Yes, please.
Understood. Please wait.
Awkward pause. Very awkward pause.
I apologize, but I am unable to call up any relevant information in the Akasha.
Okay.
I'm also unable to locate any pertinent information in my personal memory.
Personal memory, huh? I do have to wonder, who made her?
Aww, another dead end.
Who made that
Well,
woman?
If Catherine can't help us, then we really don't know anyone else to ask now.
No.
Please do not worry. I may know of someone who can help you two.
Really? Who?
In Sumeru, the Adventurers Guild does not serve as the vanguard of information.
The
Rather,
Eremites.
There
Got
are
it.
numerous active mercenary groups collectively known as the Eremites.
Right.
They take on various contracts and work all across Sumeru,
Okay.
so they naturally accrue intelligence.
As you'd expect, yeah.
An Eremite brigade called the Corps of 30 is in
Corps
charge
of
of
30.
Sumeru City's defenses. Not only are they the oldest brigade, but they are responsible for managing and coordinating the affairs of all other mercenary brigades.
Okay.
Corps of 30? What a weird name.
Just accept it, Paimon. They're mercenaries. Just
Supposedly,
shh.
they are named as such because their ranks numbered 30 at their inception.
All right.
Asfand, an advisor with the Corps of 30, maintains good relations with the Adventurers Guild.
Right.
Though he's already retired, he and his words carry great weight within mercenary circles. If you'd like to get in contact with him, you can find him at the Corps of 30's headquarters, the Citadel of Rexar.
Thanks a bunch, Catherine. I appreciate.
You're welcome.
I appreciate
I
it.
wish you two the best of luck. We look forward to your exploits in Sumeru.
Thank you.
Welcome. The Adventurers Guild told me to expect you two.
Hello, sir.
It's nice to meet you, Asfand.
Mm-hmm.
We'd like to ask you about something.
Yep. You probably know what it is, but yeah. No doubt your little earpiece has told you what we're looking for.
I see. So, Catherine's the one who sent you this way.
She was, yes.
Ha! It's true that the Eremites' network is vast, but even I can't help you meet the Dendro Archon.
Well, rip.
Wait, seriously? That's it?
Afraid so.
Feels bad, man.
The Eremites aren't terribly religious.
Right,
So
okay.
we don't know much about divinities. As far as the Akasha goes, we can access even less than you.
Is that because they're seen as lesser because they're mercenaries, do you think? If, like, an outlander such as myself and Paimon can access more in the Akasha than, say, actual citizens of Sumeru, maybe that, yeah, they might be frowned upon, you know?
We originally came from the desert. The gods there died off
Right,
long
okay.
ago. Since those days, we've used our own two hands to carve out a living.
Then maybe...
We don't beg gods for their aid.
Also because they're not religious, so I suppose... Yeah, because they did mention that they're not religious, so that could be why they're seen as heretics. Or if some of them are still believing in, like, the old gods. I don't want to say the old gods, because that sounds so eldritch, but you know what I mean. The gods from the deserts, so to speak. They might still be considered heretics.
It isn't just us, though. If you ask me, I think most in Sumeru aren't interested in Lesser Lord Kusanali.
Aw, that's kind of sad. Like, aw,
Oh?
poor baby.
Just take the Academia, for example.
Yep.
They're the ones who truly rule Sumeru.
Mm-hmm.
Although they believe in gods, most of them only care for the late greater Lord Rugadavada.
Okay.
In their eyes, she was the one who founded Sumeru and gifted us with the Akasha. Lesser Lord Kusanali just happened to inherit her legacy.
Okay.
Because of the Academia's influence, Most citizens are more familiar with Greater Lord Rukkhadevada and hold her in greater esteem. Not to mention that Lesser Lord Kusanali never makes an appearance, and the Academia never announces anything about her. As far as the people of Sumeru are concerned, she's just a god that exists. And that's all.
Aw,
Really?
that's kind of sad.
After hearing all of that, Paimon sort of feels bad for Lesser Lord Kusanali.
Yeah, same here, Paimon. I know we've been dunking on you, and that's just in good fun, but I actually agree with you there, Paimon.
Ha! But who knows? We're all just guessing when it comes down to it. Besides, I'm sure the God of Wisdom doesn't worry about her reputation among people like us.
Well,
Alright, well, thanks for the info, Osfond.
I appreciate it. It was worth a shot.
No problem. Always happy to help out the Adventurers Guild.
Thank you. Well, I'm glad you did, because I appreciate it. After leaving the citadel of Regzar, you questioned several people in Sumeru City.
Seems Osfond was right about most people's attitudes here. Not only are they not interested in the Dendro Archon, they even say stuff like, if the Akasha doesn't think I should know, then I don't need to know about it.
See, that is where I feel that's lacking vision, isn't it? But then maybe I'm just too curious for my own good. I would be not very happy with that. I want to know it all.
We've been asking
It's not
for
possible,
information
but
nonstop ever since we
I
got
do
to
have a
Sumeru.
curious brain.
The harder we try, the more helpless everything seems. Isn't there at least one person in this entire city who cares about Lesser Lord Kusanali?
Shout it a bit louder, Paimon. I don't think the entire city heard you, but maybe we'll find someone this way, so I won't be too harsh.
Oh,
Won't judge
you
too
two
much.
are interested in Lesser Lord Kusanali?
However did you know, madam? It's not like my little companion was yelling it, but I'm glad you spoke up.
Who are you?
Lady,
From the sound of it, you two are Outlanders who recently arrived here.
we are.
You've been asking around for information on Lesser Lord Kusanali, right?
We have. We've asked everyone. Everyone.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Dunyarzad.
Dunyarzad.
One of Lesser Lord Kusanali's faithful followers.
Yay, I'm glad she has some followers.
Whoa, really? Then do you know how we can meet with her?
I'm afraid I can't help you
Straight
with
to the
that.
point.
But your conversation earlier did happen to remind me of a legend about the Dendro Archon.
Can you tell us the legend?
Sure. It goes like this.
Okay.
Long, long ago, there was a man who heard a prophecy. It predicted that a great calamity was about to befall him. Panicked by what he heard, the man sought out the Dendro Archon in hopes that she would bless him
Right.
with the wisdom to help him escape his predicament.
Okay.
The man journeyed across deserts and through rainforests and experienced tribulations of every kind. However, he still couldn't find any trace of the Dendro Archon.
Mysterious.
In despair, he thought, alas, the Archon has abandoned me. He then had no choice but to sorrowfully resign to his fate.
Okay, and then what happened?
Paimon's invested, and so am I. I'm not gonna lie.
And then, the calamity came. But to his own surprise, the man felt somehow emboldened by the trials of his journey. By relying on his own strength, he managed to overcome the adversity.
Which is good.
At that moment, a bird perched upon his shoulder. This bird was, in fact, an
Oh.
avatar of the Dendro Archon. She said, "O Archon Seeker, do you now understand? She and her wisdom have long been found by you.
You just didn't know it. It was in your heart all along.
Along your journey, we were in every flower and blade of grass, every ray of sparkling sun, and every breath of dancing wind. So long as you continue to think and ponder, we'll be wherever you go."
What an amazing story.
Yeah, thanks for the story. Paimon feels all warm and fuzzy inside after that.
Well, I'm glad you're happy, Paimon. That makes me feel better.
In a way, it seems like this story is also one of the Dendro Archon's avatars.
Dunyarzad,
You could say that.
Since you worship Lesser Lord Kusanali, can you tell us anything else about her?
Uh-oh, look, they are some mercenary-looking chappies over here. What's going on?
Of course. So did you two know that, I'm terribly sorry, but it seems something's come up now. Let's chat another day.
Suspicious. She's gonna haul ass out of here, alright.
Hey, wait!
Stop shouting!
What the heck just happened?
I think it has something to do with those people over there. Just a little hint.
It looks like they're searching for someone.
Sussy boys.
Dunyarzad was acting super nervous just now. You think they're looking for her?
I think so, yeah.
This stinks! We finally managed to find a lead about Lesser Lord Kusanali! We can't let them get in the way now!
Well, yeah.
Let's see if we can get rid of them. Then we can catch up with Dunyarzad!
Alright.
Hey.
Hey,
have
buddy.
you two seen a brown-haired girl wearing a purple top and a long blue dress? We're looking for her.
Did she have bandages wrapped around her wrists?
We could have also said no.
Yes, that's her. Did you see which direction she went?
Yeah, she went that way.
I hope this is convincing Paimon,
Quick,
because I don't
after
know
her.
about that. Yeah, get out of here, boys. He's got the evil eyebrows. Automatically. On my guard.
That should keep him busy for a while. Let's hurry and find Dunyarzad.
Okay, let's do that.
There you are, Dunyarzad. We thought you might have been long gone by now.
Oh, it's you two.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you startled me there.
Sorry.
You can relax now. We threw those people looking for you off the trail.
For now.
Really? Thank you so much. Unfortunately, I believe there's still more of them out there looking for me.
But why are they looking for you?
Uh-oh. Looks like there's some coming this way.
Huh? More of them? Then what are we standing here for? Run!
No, wait, my body isn't in the best shape. It's difficult for me to run.
How about we find some place to hide?
Okay, sounds good. There's a tavern on the other side of the port we can go to.
Okay.
They probably wouldn't expect me to hide in a place like that.
Why, is it a dump?
All right, let's move out. Stay behind us. We'll keep an eye out for anyone looking for you.
Hopefully it's a fun tavern. Right. Here we go. Ooh. Fancy. Oh, this is cozy. It's like a library though upstairs, but
We
it's
made it.
cozy.
Oh, they shouldn't be able to find us now. Wait, stand down, Dehya.
Yes. I really like her design. She's cool.
They're travelers that I met on the street.
Yeah,
just a moment
randoms.
ago. They happened to notice that you were all searching for me, so they helped me hide.
Mm-hmm.
I see. In that case, you two should scram. There's nothing here for you.
Her eyes are super intense, aren't they? They're very feline-ish. I thought she had cat ears. She doesn't. It's her hair. I was kind of disappointed to find out that it was just her hair, but she still looks cool anyway.
Wait a sec. Who the heck are you? And why are you shooing us away?
I'm Miss Dunyarzad's bodyguard, here to see that she returns home safe and sound. My lady, let's get going. You've been gone for so long that your parents are worrying themselves sick.
Oh dear.
And if I refuse to go with you?
It'd be easier for the both of us if you cooperated. But if you insist on not going, then I'll have to carry you like a sack of potatoes.
Alrighty then.
Dunyarzad already said she doesn't want to go back. Why are you still pushing her?
I don't think this is the kind of person we want to be fighting, Paimon, so maybe if we just dial it back a bit.
Stay out of this. You don't understand the situation.
No, we don't. We have just arrived here.
Sorry, my lady. Even though I'm your bodyguard, your parents are my employers. I have to answer to them.
Okay.
How much?
Ooh, bribes. I like it.
Wait, what?
How much more do I have to pay you to become your employer? So you never listen to my parents ever again. Double? A triple? Give me some time and I'll get that much.
My lady, this isn't about Mora. I don't know what you think of us eremites, but let me say this. I like Mora, but I'll never go against my principles. That's why I'm here looking for you.
Honorable, I like
Sure,
it.
It's an order from my employer, but my conscience was also telling me it's the right thing to do.
Not just like any mercenary taking a job because it pays for the Mora. She has got principles. I like
And
that.
knowing your health, carelessly running around like this is gonna hurt ya. For the sake of those who love you, don't be stubborn.
No, you're wrong. I'm aware of my limits, and I know what I'm doing. Honestly, the only people being stubborn right now are my parents. And I know perfectly well that it makes no difference if I'm at home or not. I still won't accept reality. And every time I bring this up, they just change the subject. Dehya, you've been living with us a long time already.
I feel
This
like
should be old news to you.
this is a private conversation that we are just five-wheeling on again. Oh, God. Not even just third-wheeling, but always like a massive crowd, and then we're just
Dehya,
there.
I know it
It's
hasn't been easy for Mother and Father.
bizarre.
And I'm grateful for everything they've done for me. But there's someone else in this world I'm also grateful to. Because she saved me. The love I have for her is the same I have for my parents.
Lesser Lord Kusanali, right?
This is my life and my last chance. So I want to do something meaningful.
My lady, are you sure what you're doing now is meaningful?
It's meaningful to her, so just let her do it, man.
Yes, I'm sure. At least, it is to me.
Yeah, and that's what matters, in my opinion.
Fine, I won't ask you to return home anymore. But let me make something very clear. I'm only doing this because I respect your determination, not because I agree with you.
All right, fair.
Thank you, Dehya. Sorry for being so rude just now. My nerves were acting up. And I even brought up your payment in such an offensive way.
Don't worry about it, my lady. I did say that I like Mora. Besides,
You and I
that's
both.
our next topic of conversation.
Strike a deal.
Today's little excursion caused such a ruckus that every single bodyguard at the estate was deployed. It wouldn't be easy to hide things from your old man.
Oh.
Since this definitely won't be your last escapade, here's a little tip. You should at least make it look like your room and things are still in order when you leave. Also, you'll need someone to cover you for when you're out and about. So, I'll
Seems
let you
like a
hire
good
me, my
deal.
lady. This way, everyone wins. As for the pay, let's say half of what your father pays me. We can settle the bill when we return to the estate.
Okay, deal.
Yay! Looks like they've reached an understanding.
Yeah, and it was really awkward. Dinyazad, are you alright?
I'm fine, really. I just feel a little tired now that things have calmed down.
I wonder what's wrong with her.
My lady, stop trying to look tough. We're already in a tavern, so let's rest up and grab some grub.
Yep.
I'm sorry for worrying you two. If you don't mind, I'd like for you to join us.
That would be very nice, thank you, yes.
Sure! After you rest up, we want to hear more about Lesser Lord Kusanali.
Because we are obsessed. We have to know everything. Oops.
Ha! Well, if it isn't Dehya. Haven't seen you in nearly half a year.
He's been keeping tabs, huh?
Word on the street is that you're a bodyguard for the Homayani family now. Ha! Don't you find that kind of work boring?
Well, it seems like it was quite adventurous today, man.
Nah, you get used to it. How about a menu over here?
You got it, huh? Isn't this little Miss Homayani herself? We don't get to serve personages like you very often. We'll be sure to prepare our very best.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, sir, but there's no need. I don't have a lot of Mora on me, and I really ought to save as much as I can. But please bring these two the best food you have. They're my new friends, so I want to be a good host.
No, it's okay. Like, it's all good. Don't worry about it. No need to break the bank. We'll eat whatever you order.
Yeah, we're already super grateful for everything you told us about Lesser
Paimon
Lord
will eat
Kusanali.
anything because it's Paimon.
How about our coconut charcoal cakes? They're our signature snack, and they run cheap. Look, other customers over there are eating some now.
Coconuts, charcoal cakes. Are they like coconuts that are cut in half and then charcoaled?
And dry. Paimon will pass.
Paimon, don't be rude. Picky Paimon, now that's a first. But you've cooked slimes before. That is horrible.
What do you have against my slime dishes?
Because it's grim, my dude. You continue chatting with Dunyarzad.
We asked a lot of people when we first arrived, and almost nobody was interested in Lesser Lord Kusanali. So, what made you want to follow her?
Well, remember when you asked me if I knew how to meet the Dendro Archon?
I do, yes.
Even though I don't know how, I think I've actually seen her before.
Huh? Really?
Yes, it was when I was a child. At the time, my illness had kept me bedridden for the better part of a year.
That's sad.
I was stuck inside and couldn't make any friends, and my parents did their best to find treatments for me. But even then, the Akasha didn't have any helpful information.
Do we think she's got Elazar as well? Like, her hands are bandaged. And isn't Elazar a disease or an illness, I should say, that is quite common in Sumeru?
My younger self
But I
no
don't
longer
know.
had any hopes or dreams. One flare-up was so bad that I was in a semi-conscious state for several days. Then one night, I woke up alone in my room. I was terrified. My body was paralyzed. Even if I cried, there was no sound. At that moment, an ethereal voice spoke in my mind. Dunyarzad, don't be scared. You don't have to cry.
Dunyarzad, don't be scared. You don't have to cry. Who are you? How do you know my name? How do I explain this? You might not be able to understand, but actually, I know everything about you.
If a voice said that to me in the middle of the night, I'd be like, oh, hell no, it's a demon.
Really? Of course.
And then I'd be like,
I know that
so
you're
what do you
scared of
want, man?
thunder, that you hate taking medicine every morning, and that you love counting the petals on your mom's skirt. Wow, you really do know everything. Dunyarzad, is there anything you want? Want? Not really. I can't go anywhere or do anything.
Yeah, that sucks, man. That's sad.
Huh? But aren't you a child? All children have wishes. Tell me what you want, and maybe I can make it happen. But can you make my illness go away?
Oh, no, dude.
Oh. I'm sorry. But I'm not powerful enough to do that right now. Then, can you be my friend?
Aw.
After that, the voice said, "Okay, I'll be your friend."
That's good.
Although my body was suffering during those days, that voice encouraged me and told me many wondrous things.
As a good friend should.
Beyond my window was the flourishing Sumeru city. Beyond the city was a lush rainforest. And beyond that was the wall of Samiel, deserts, and all of Teyvat. Once I finally made it through that bout of illness, I couldn't hear that voice anymore. I told my mother about it, but she said that I must have been dreaming.
It's one heck of a dream.
But I know that that voice wasn't a figment of my imagination. Before that, I had never heard of Teyvat.
So you believe the voice you heard was Lesser Lord Kusanali?
Yes, for sure. If it weren't for that voice, I would have never grown curious about the outside world, nor would I have learned how to read and enjoy so many books.
I'm glad it inspired her. That's good.
That voice sparked a desire for wisdom. It had to have been the Dendro Archon. I've been hoping for a chance to repay her kindness. In fact, I was running around today to help prepare the Sub-Zerus festival for her.
Sub-Zerus Festival. Ooh.
What's the Sub-Zerus festival?
Don't know.
It's Lesser Lord Kusanali's birthday. which
Oh.
was the day that she was found by the sages.
Right.
It's actually an old holiday that originally celebrated Greater Lord Rukkhadevata's birthday. When she
Okay.
passed away, the holiday eventually became a celebration of the Lesser Lord's birthday. I heard everyone was overjoyed when they welcomed her back to Sumeru. In those days, the festival was a huge deal.
Interesting.
But because of the academia's influence, people have gradually lost interest in the festival.
Well, that's a shame.
The academia actively participates in Sumeru's many holidays
Right.
dedicated to Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. But when it comes to the Sub-Zero's festival, forget any funding. They practically act like it doesn't exist.
Aw.
Maybe they see Lesser Lord Kusanali's birth as confirmation of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata's death, so they're reluctant to celebrate it.
That would make a lot of sense.
Aw, but that's awful.
It is, Paimon. It is.
It is. It's absolutely terrible. Sure, the Greater Lord founded Sumeru, but hasn't Lesser Lord Kusanali been the one quietly protecting us for the past few hundred years?
I'd hope so.
Just remember that we're still out in public. Don't get too carried away now.
I know that people over by the Grand Bazaar still hold the Sub-Zero's festival to this day, but I hadn't met any of them before, so I was never able to contribute.
Okay.
But recently, I made a friend there who also follows
Ooh.
Lesser Lord Kusanali.
Another friend.
I gave her my savings because I want her to throw a wonderful festival this year. That's the least I could do for Lesser Lord Kusanali.
Hold on, my lady. Does this friend happen to be Nilu? The one who sends
Nilu.
flowers to the estate?
Oh.
Yes, that's her.
I saw her leaving the other day with a nervous look on her face. It seemed like she was hiding something in her arms. Did you give her something?
Yes. Initially, I didn't have much Mora prepared, so I had Nilu sell one of my skirts. I've agreed with Nilu to meet up at the Grand Bazaar today,
Okay.
and see how things are coming along. Dehya, would you accompany me?
Sure. That's quite the trip, though. I'll carry you.
No, that would be too much, even for you.
You might as well just accept the lift. If I let you walk, who knows how long it'll take us. And if anything happens to you, then I'd really never hear the end of it from your father.
Can we also come along, just to be awkward?
But of course. Nilu will be thrilled to hear there are more people interested in Lesser Lord Kusanali.
Okay. Then let's go meet Nilu. There she is. It's Nilu.
Sorry I'm late, Nilu.
Oh, Dunyarzad. It was taking you so long that I assumed you got trapped at home, but you made it in the end.
She reminds me of like a little fairy girl.
Uh-oh.
I like her red hair.
But if Dia's here, that means you got caught, right?
No.
You could say that, but everything worked out. She's on our side now.
We're all good. We avoided that fate.
Not completely.
Mm.
Oh, and who are these two?
Buddies.
Oh, meet the Traveler and Paimon, my two newest friends. They're visitors who just arrived at Sumeru City and are looking for information on Lesser Lord Kusanali.
We would like to meet her, please.
So you're followers from another land?
Yes.
That's wonderful.
Let's
You two
make friends with
absolutely
her.
Mustn't miss the Sub-Zero's festival.
No, we've been told about it and I can't wait.
By the way, Dunyarzad, we've already started decorating the Grand Bazaar. It looks spectacular, thanks to your generous contribution.
You're very welcome. It's the only thing I could do. Do you still have enough Mora?
Mora.
Probably?
Uh-oh, it
But
doesn't
don't
sound
sweat
like it.
We've already finished renovating the stage. Come on, I'll show you.
Yeah, can I see it? Right, let's have a chat with them over here.
Wow! This place is amazing!
Oh, that is nice. That's really pretty.
Not bad. Huh. Last time I was here, the stairs were full of holes.
Well, they're definitely not full of holes anymore. They've done a really good job.
The stairs were nothing. A little while ago, we discovered that the tree above the stage had a huge chunk of bark ready to fall off.
Uh-oh.
Mr. Zubair was worried sick. We reported it to the academia many times, but they never sent anyone to deal with it. We didn't want anything bad happening, so we were going to cancel all the stage performances.
Why didn't anyone come to handle it?
Oh, probably because it was the theater asking.
Oh, do they not care for arts and crafts? Is that it? Do they not like the creatives? Only the scholars got it.
The academia looks down on performers like us.
That's sad.
They probably think it would be best if the theater closed down completely.
Are they in fact the fun police? Like, no fun allowed, only studying?
We can't let that happen, though. Not only would everyone involved in the theater go hungry, but then we wouldn't be able to hold the Sub-Zero's festival anymore.
I'm with you there, Nilu. I'm with you there. We need the creatives in this world.
Thank the Dendro Archon for Dunyarzad. But the more she gave us, we hired someone to patch up the tree, and we also gave the stage a much-needed makeover.
It was definitely worth it.
The stage is going to be even prettier when it's festival time. I can't wait for you to see it.
I'm excited to see it, personally.
And I can't wait to see you on the stage. You've been practicing so long already. It's almost time for your dream to become reality.
It's our dream. I'll do my best for the two of us.
Yeah, you do that.
Nilu, what are you gonna be doing at the festival?
She'll be dancing the dance of Sub-Zeros, the most important performance at the Sub-Zeros festival.
Dunyarzad, have you told him the origin of this holiday?
Yes.
I only told them
A
about
little
the
bit.
Greater Lord and Lesser Lord so far.
What else is there to know? Please tell
Okay.
me.
Then I'll tell you two about how this holiday came to be.
Thank you.
According to legend, the Sub-Zeros festival was originally the Goddess of Flowers' birthday celebration for the Greater Lord.
Right.
A long, long time ago, on one of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata's birthdays, her friends threw her a celebratory banquet. Some of the gods got drunk.
Oh,
One
no.
started playing music, and the Greater Lord started singing, so the Goddess of Flowers began to dance.
I was just laughing at that dog that was just getting pushed along by the woman, the NPC, in that cutscene.
As she
It was a bit
danced upon
awkward.
the grass, countless beautiful padisaras began to bloom wherever she stepped. Those brilliant purple flowers became her dazzling stage. All the gods clamored, "Oh, if only time could stop at this very moment."
Sounds like they had a great time.
Of course they did. When people mention the gods, they always think of the Archon War.
Admittedly,
But
yes.
Sumeru's gods also had happy times.
Well, that's good.
Although they aren't around anymore, they're preserved in our tradition of dance. This outfit I'm wearing is apparently based on how the Goddess of Flowers looked.
It is very pretty, very intricate, and I do like the blue. Because the blue contrasts really nicely with her red hair. It works
Though
well.
we're just tiny people compared to the divine, we still have to do our best to make sure that the birthday girl feels loved on her special day.
Nilu, you of all people will definitely be able to convey our well wishes to the Dendro Archon. I also noticed that you went the extra mile and scattered padisaras around the stage.
They symbolize the Goddess of Flowers, after all. It's just a shame that all the real padisaras went extinct after her death.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah. The Greater Lord brought forth padisaras in memory of the Goddess of Flowers. And she ultimately could never truly replicate that beautiful purple.
Thinking about the Goddess of Flowers dance makes me wish I could have seen it. If my stage were anything like that, I'd be thrilled if I had just 2 real padisaras on the stage. So, Traveler and Paimon, what do you think?
It sounds
Interested in
interesting.
the Sub-Zero's festival?
I am,
Will you
yes.
two be coming?
Sure, if you want us there, then yeah, I'll be there.
All of Lesser Lord Kusanali's followers will be there for her birthday. It'll be a good opportunity for you to learn more about her.
Okay.
Ooh,
Maybe she'll even be there.
that's a great idea!
It is. You sure it's not because you want in on the fun, Paimon?
Hey, come on! There's no nothing wrong with enjoying a festival. Besides, it's Lesser Lord Kusanali's birthday. She'll be happy to have more people who are celebrating it.
You just want the food, don't you, Paimon? I've got you sussed. I know.
So how about we all attend the Sub-Zero's festival together?
Sounds like a plan.
Dunyarzad, let me show you which stage decorations we've picked out so far. Traveler and Paimon, if that doesn't sound interesting to you, then feel free to explore the area.
All right, I shall. Thank you.
Everyone at the Grand Bazaar loves Lesser Lord Kusanali, and we're all looking forward to the Sub-Zero's festival.
In that case, we'll take a look around.
All right, let's learn some things, shall we, Paimon? Let's talk to this kid and swoof the dog. Hey, kid.
Whoa. What's with your yellow hair? And why do your clothes look so funny? Are you an Outlander?
I regret my decision.
Did you
Yes,
know
I
that
am.
the Sub-Zero's festival is about to happen?
I did,
There'll
yes.
be loads of fun things to do at the festival. But the best part is when Ferris, the Knight of Flowers, passes out candy to everyone.
Okay. Maybe let's talk to Dehya.
Huh. Revamping the stage for the festival couldn't have been easy, that's for sure. I bet this year's festival will be one to remember.
I hope so, and in like a good way, and
I
not
don't
in
know
a
much
bad
about
way.
the Grand Bazaar, but I do know that the residents here have a penchant for song and dance. Two things that the academia doesn't particularly approve of.
So they are the fun police. They don't like fun. How boring. Come on, you need a little bit of song and dance occasionally.
Oh, and the perfume sold around here is a lot better than what you'll find elsewhere. The fragrances are longer lasting and they're gentler on your skin and...
Okay.
I mean, that's what I've heard at least.
Ooh. Divulging some little secrets there, Dehya. Don't worry. It's safe with me. I will not tell people about your fascination with perfumes. Hello, sir.
Things are really shaping up, and there's a buzz around the festival this year. We're expecting people from all over to come by this year and buy things during the festivities.
Well, I hope it's successful for you.
Don't be fooled into thinking that Sumeru City has the best of everything. Some festival snacks are only offered here in the Grand Bazaar.
Ooh.
And when it comes to musicians, dancers, or singers, the Grand Bazaar's got the best of the best. Sure, those folks at the academia might not like it, but what's a festival without song and dance?
A very boring festival, unless it's a different kind of festival. But if you're having a celebration, then it would be kind of dull, personally speaking. I hope you have a good one, sir. Oh, it's a grandma. Let's talk to Granny.
Ah, dancing at the Sub-Zero's festival. You know, I also danced when I was younger.
Did you really?
As a child, I even asked my grandmother why we performed the dance for the Lesser Lord when it was originally done to honor the Greater Lord.
Right.
My grandmother said that Greater Lord Rukkhadevata is a beloved deity and honored by all. And Lesser Lord Kusanali is too. If the goddess of flowers ever knew Lesser Lord Kusanali, then she would certainly have wished to be her friend and hold celebrations for her too.
Aw, yeah.
The Sub-Zero's festival has been losing its appeal over the years. That is, until a wealthy benefactor stepped in this year and brought the festival back to life.
Absolute hero.
I heard she forked out a lot of mora to make it all happen.
Seems like she used her entire life savings, basically. Which is pretty wild, but... I mean, go for it if you believe in her, I suppose, and she feels it's worth it. She's not got anything to lose, has she?
Milu, your outfit looks amazing. There's also something different about you from when we first met up.
I thought I'd add a little extra pizzazz to my dress for the festival. See?
Wow, did you sew all that yourself?
Uh-huh. Sewing is a fundamental skill for everyone in the theater company because we make all our own costumes. Did you know that Mr. Zubair not only can make costumes, but props too?
That is talent. Good job.
I've noticed that you can't keep your eyes off that crown over there. Would you like to try it on?
Which crown?
May I?
Of course. The legend
I'll just
say
pretend
that
I
the
can see a
goddess of
crown.
flowers had beautiful horns on her head, so this crown was made to
Oh.
reflect that.
The one that she's wearing got up.
Dunyarzad, you look absolutely stunning with it on. It's like I'm looking at the goddess of flowers herself.
I feel like we've stumbled in on a private moment again. We're just standing here awkwardly in the back like, we're just gonna eavesdrop. Because that's completely normal.
Hey, is that who Paimon thinks it is? It looks like Catherine.
Catherine out and about? How bizarre. That never happens. I mean, I don't see why not, but it just is surprising, you know?
Huh. Come to think of it, Paimon's only ever seen her behind the counter at the Adventurers Guild. This is the first time we've ever seen her taking a break.
Do machines even need to take breaks if indeed she is a machine?
Hey, Catherine.
So many questions.
Huh?
She's chilling.
Oh, hey! It's the Traveler and Paimon! What's shaken?
The Paimon's cloak is shaken.
Whoa. Break time Catherine sure sounds a lot less formal than usual. Paimon was still waiting for her to say Ad Astra Abyssosk.
Sure. Standing behind the counter at the Adventurers Guild doesn't require any complicated functions.
Again, not doing anything to sort of dispel the android rumors with like functions. It could be entirely innocent, you know, but
saying and doing the same old things over and over again can get
like her
pretty
programming.
monotonous. Like watching the same Fontaine movie day after day. But take you two, for example. You travel across Tevat to enrich your lives and gain new experiences.
We get a lot of different experiences, that is true.
Well, we enjoy traveling across Tevat and all that, but we're mainly looking for clues about her brother.
Or our sister, as the case is in the alternate timeline. So they're both trying to find each other. It's okay, we'll find them both eventually.
Yes, you should keep searching. Sometimes the answers we're looking for aren't necessarily at our intended destination. Instead, they're found along the way.
Yep.
Huh. Haven't we heard someone say something pretty similar recently?
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, what brings you out here, Catherine?
Are you also a fan of the Sub-Zero's festival?
No, not particularly. I guess you could say that I'm loving the recent atmosphere here. If festivals bring happiness to everyone, then that's where their true value lies.
That seems fair enough to me.
Oh, it looks like it's about time for me to be heading back now.
That man is checking out Catherine. Look at him.
Alright, we'll see you next time at the Adventure
I
Guild.
see you there, buddy.
Oh, by the way, thanks for connecting us with the Eremites.
Mm-hmm.
We've already made some great friends in Sumeru City thanks to you.
We have. We've been working really quickly on making friends.
I'm sure you two will get along well with the people here. You've already been blessed by the element of Dendro after all.
Yes, we have.
See you around.
Goodbye, Catherine. See you later.
There's something really different about Catherine today.
Hey, Traveler. Paimon.
Hey, Dehya. Dude, she's cool. She's really cool.
What's going on?
I've got something to tell ya.
Oh.
My lady knows you're looking for ways to meet Lesser Lord Kusanali,
Mm-hmm.
and she's been trying to come up with a way to help you.
Okay.
Well, I have an idea that might help.
Oh. Well, tell me more, please.
Are you serious? We'd love that.
It might not necessarily pan out, so don't get your hopes up too much.
All right.
I'll need to take you two somewhere and ask someone some questions.
What about Dunyarzad?
My lady is feeling a little worn out at the moment. Nilu's found a place for her to rest. After I take my lady home, let's meet in front of the Citadel of Regzar.
Okay.
Sounds like a plan.
Sounds good to me. Let's go.
Sorry, I'm late. It took some convincing for the master and mistress to believe that Miss Dunyarzad was only sitting in the port for a while because she was in a bad mood.
Oh.
Anyway,
I'm sure you
I
managed
guess
it,
I should
though.
be thanking you. I haven't seen Miss Dunyarzad that happy in a long time. If it wasn't for you two, she probably would have been caught and dragged back much earlier.
You sure sound a whole lot nicer than when we first met, Dehya. Who would have thought you had such a soft spot for Dunyarzad?
Paimon. Maybe not phrase it like that, but okay.
It's called being a professional. I'm a bodyguard, and I work for whoever's paying.
Okay.
Look, Dehya's blushing.
I see what this is. Yep, that's a blush if ever I've seen one.
Ugh, listen, you two.
We're in trouble. It's okay, we do this to each other all the time. If you're going to be friends with us, that's just something you have to deal with.
I don't expect to be working for Miss Dunyarzad very long, but I hope to finish things on a positive note if possible. Let's cut the chit-chat and head into the Citadel.
Okay.
We'll see if the person I know has a way for you two to meet with the Lesser Lord.
Right. Who is it that you know, though? Is it that bloke? Because he already said no. That bloke, I forgot his name.
Chief.
Yeah, this guy. I forgot his name.
Ha, Dehya.
Asfand. I was
What
like,
are you doing here?
oh god.
Well.
Names
Didn't
are
expect to see
hard.
you
You know
three
me.
together.
Yeah.
I take it you all know each other already?
Yeah, we're full of surprises. We know everyone.
We met this morning after the Adventurers Guild pointed us to Osfond for more info.
Yep.
No kidding. Huh. So, where's Ruksha? I thought I'd help these two out by asking about the theft. Anything you can tell him?
The theft.
Ruksha's gone over to the Academia. The Grand Sage recently ordered Sumeru City to begin bolstering its defenses.
Okay.
So people from all over have been called back to the city.
Interesting.
Since you've already mentioned the theft, I suppose I might as well tell them what we know.
Yeah, because you can't just leave me hanging. I'm sorry. You mentioned something interesting, some gossip. I need to know. It's my job as the traveler.
Appreciate it, Chief.
Theft? Sorry, what the heck are you guys talking about?
Just recently, the Academia lost something, and there's a chance the item is connected with the Dendro Archon. This case might just somehow help you in meeting her.
So if we recover it, we can then be like, look, Dendro Archon, we are worthy of being in your presence.
I suppose that's one way to look at it. But if you ask me, the case is more about the Academia than anything else.
Right.
Let me fill you in. The Academia recently sent a convoy to pick up an important package from Aru village.
Right.
Word got out, and the convoy was robbed on its way back.
Uh-oh.
The Grand Sage took the whole matter very seriously. Not only did he dispatch the Matra, but also enlisted our help in the search for leads.
Okay.
All we know so far is that whatever was stolen is currently in Port Ormos.
Port Ormos, okay. So the Matra are like, the guards or something, right? Sort of soldier types, not mercenaries.
You two have heard of Port Ormos, haven't you? It's the largest commercial port in all of Sumeru.
But we have
you can
now,
travel
so
there
thanks.
by leaving Sumeru City and heading south along the river.
Well, I guess we're going to Port Ormos then.
The Academia's grip isn't long enough to reach all the way to Port Ormos, so the city's a little more laid back.
Okay.
Meaning the population's also a mixed bag. You never know who you'll meet there.
Some fun characters, I hope.
Apparently what was lost has a great deal to do with the Akasha, knowledge, and even the gods.
Oh dear.
I'm afraid I don't have any other details for you, though.
Well.
If you're interested, maybe you could head to Port Ormos and ask around yourselves.
Okay.
If you want my advice, try introducing yourselves as students of the Academia once you're there.
Huh? Students of the Academia? Why should we do that?
Are you serious, Chief? All the Academia students are in Sumeru City, you know. Why should they pretend to be students in Port Ormos?
If you're also interested, Just go there and see what happens.
It's an adventure. Let's go. Come on.
Count me out. I've got plenty of work to do here for the Homayani family.
Oh, but it could have been a vacation, dear. Please.
And take it from me, if you two really do decide to visit Port Ormos, you'd best watch your backs. Let's just say that the Eremites there aren't nearly as friendly as those here in Sumeru City.
Some ruffians, I got
there
it.
There are even some extremists who go around shouting slogans like, "Retake Sumeru for the Scarlet King." Word is that more and more are joining their movement.
Okay.
They're becoming a real headache for Chief and the others.
Oh dear.
You bet they are.
The Scarlet King.
The Scarlet King's been dead for thousands of years. Now they start spreading rumors of his return. Ridiculous.
I mean, I don't want to know what they're doing in order to try and get him to return. It sounds kind of dodgy if you ask me,
Not
but...
everyone's like you, Chief.
Yep.
Even the desert natives who abandoned their homes in the wilderness still wish to have a god of their own.
Which I get.
Well, Traveler, that's about all the information we have for you.
Okay, I appreciate it, dear. Thank you.
Thanks, Dehya! And you too, Osfond!
Thank you.
Since we've gathered all we could for the moment in Sumeru City, let's head to Port Ormos and see what we can find next.
Alright, let's do that, Paimon.
Miss Dunyarzad is looking forward to seeing you both at the Sub-Zerus Festival, so be sure to get yourselves back here in time for that.
Don't worry, we will.
Good. Then we'll see you both at the Sub-Zerus Festival.
See you then, dear.